Hey everyone, Cindy Drozda here. I hope you can hear me. We are streaming Stuart, Batty, and Mike Mahoney, two ways to do a bowl, and I'm going to be quiet and let you just watch what's happening. Okay, here we are.
Are we on the other side?
I don't know, I was going to get in the middle, but I went over here so I could talk.
I'm going to try and get it the other side.
Yeah.
Carl Harvard. Carl Harvard. Here's the red right hand. Carl Harvard. Okay. Avery. Thank you.
I wonder if we're going to be able to be Yeah, we're going to be able
What? First. I haven't lived in Florida for 2 years. I'm a native Texan. I had to put it up there because the kick one we had on the floor over there and knocked it over. So. Cindy, how you doing?
Good. Just a bit of fun here.
Didn't like where I was working, so I went back to live stream Reggie.
Yep.
Excuse me, Reggie.
Say hello.
Hi there. Welcome to SWAT.
Yeah, welcome to SWAT, everyone. Beamer? I do. Do you want one?
Put that up there.
Should I?
You got more nerve than I got. Go upstairs.
Yeah, no shit.
I'll let you do it. It's your fixtures. Just on that arm there or something like that. What's that?
Can you hear us?
Oh, I think so. I'm not positive.
Hello.
And I should have both of these mics running.
Yeah?
If we're lucky.
Do you want the other one up here?
No. I think we'll have one here and one up there. I'm just live streaming it. And Todd's got another camera over there. Huh?
That's great.
And here's Jason, everyone. Oh boy, I got all kinds of weird things going on here. Yeah, so let us know what y'all can hear out there, if anything. We're here at SWAT, and we're going to watch Stuart Batty and Mike Mahoney, 2 ways to make a bowl. And this is going to be unbelievably awesome. Those two are the best bowl makers in the world. I think it looks good. Can you see it too on yours?
Yep.
Yeah, so you're coming in from that side, and I'm right here in the middle.
I'm just going to kind of leave it static.
Yeah, I was just going to kind of leave it here. And, okay, Jackie says, here you fine. Great. I hope you can hear Stu and Mike also. I think I have...
Cindy, you gonna be standing there the whole show?
Yeah, you want me to move?
Yeah, I can't support what you're putting out. Plus, I can't camera screen.
Sorry, I really didn't know where I was.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Hello?
This is great. I can actually back up.
Hello.
Pull up a chair.
Hello.
I've
Hello.
never
Hello.
done this thing?
Ask the audience if they hear that.
What?
Whenever you said what I said.
Oh,
I just said test.
oh, okay. Did anyone hear test, test, test? Let us know. So you want me to lower?
I just know what's in the way of the monitors for me. And
Well,
now you're in the
am I?
way of the monitors for the people behind you.
They're gonna have mics. They're gonna have mics up too, so when they go.
Oh, the monitors. I'm in the way of the monitors. I don't know what I can do about that.
That's not our monitors.
I don't know what monitors he's talking about.
Thanks.
We got monitors. That's what everybody's talking about. Monitors over there, monitors over there, monitors over here. And a ladder. That's what that's all about. There's Todd on that other camera. I don't know. So all you folks out there, what do you think about the monitor? Do you want to see monitor or do you want to see blade? I think I'd want to see blade.
What are USBs? Hey.
Shoot over and send it.
That's what I'm trying.
Hey, this one that might be the same.
No. Yeah, it might be okay. Yeah. Nobody can plug the after you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's good.
We'll flash it a little faster when you get to the road. Don't be charged them, but you know we have to move cables.
Where can I be not in the way? I guess I
So you-
don't. I mean, I just let it sit. Where could I go and let it sit?
We can put it right here with
All right.
Hey, man.
kind of view you get from here.
I wanted to see both ways.
And what we can do is, I've got a ratchet strap. If we put that over here and strap that to it so it's not going to get knocked over.
Can I be here?
Sure. I don't mind.
Am I in their way?
They started putting all the stuff in front and back now. Back and back a little bit. Back over here. That's probably the other part of it.
So let's go out of the room.
Back leg is really one of the spots. It felt like I'm 20 pounds.
Yeah,
No, these two guys they're what they do. I've seen them do this. They'll have string ribbon down here. No, we're not filming right now.
You got more light
No,
over.
theirs is, we're not showing ours right now. We're not. This is our regular demo setup. We're not turning anything off. We want everything to be ready for the morning. The only thing we're using on our stuff is the microphones. I don't have any problem. You're not in our way up here for anything. All I need to be able to do is reach. All I need to be able to reach those two switches right there. Yeah, just the volume on the microphones. What? They've already got their mics. We don't need it.
That's you. Yeah. Oh, that's good. What do you think about me being right here? Is this cool? Okay. I'm just the front shot.
She shouldn't want that much. No,
I was thinking just leave both of them up at the whole time. Yeah, I could probably just leave this here too.
Yeah, we can stand over there and switch over there.
Stand over there? All right.
Sometimes I think
How do I
make you.
How do I tie this down? Stand up.
Yeah, that's what I can strap that to our cabinet so it's not going to go anywhere.
Elastical, Denny?
Here, hold on. Here.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, that rubber band did a pretty good job too.
Thank you, David.
Thank you very much. Now I can get out of everyone's way. Just get this in a good place. Alright, we're going to just move. I'm going to leave so I'm not in the way. And here's the microphone.
Oh, yeah. So if you want to do that, you can do that here.
That mic should be picking up.
I can lower this a little bit if it'd be easier for you to see it.
It's okay. I mean, I don't know.
Okay. Once you clip this onto you, you can
Okay.
narrate.
Okay, I'll be the narrator. All right.
Unless you want, I mean, you can clip it onto Stu or something.
Tom put my other one over there somewhere.
Yeah, like close to the board.
Yeah.
No, it's actually hanging off the camera.
Yeah, we've got yours on
Oh,
the middle.
okay. Okay.
You can move it if you want.
I put this one somewhere else there too?
Yeah, where do you want it? I don't know. I mean, I can put it on Stu if you want.
Put one on Stuart, put one on one.
Okay.
Yeah?
Two recording.
Clip that to you.
Where's that from? That
Sydney.
one. You have to tune it into ours. It won't work.
No, it's not meant to work with yours. Just clip it to you. It's for Cindy.
What's that?
It's for Cindy. It's not ours.
Oh, I'm just wearing it.
Yeah, you're just wearing it.
Oh my goodness! I got 3 mics.
Yeah.
Is Mike wearing one?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
All right, Mike needs me to go back. Right, good crowd.
clip that to you, please?
Oh,
Just
don't
clip
need
it.
any?
No,
It's Cindy.
no,
So we'll
clip
clip it to Cindy.
Don't put it in
So
your
we've got to wear 3 mics. So you got to wear.
Oh, I did.
There
So
are 3
hard for you
mics.
guys, yeah, you-
Right, and you got this one on?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's not flashing anymore. So
Is that all right?
Yeah. Why are you guys feeling like you guys look like this?
coming in from. So you want to go down either side?
You go that side.
You go outside.
Hold on. There you go. You got a jog. All right, get up here. Oh, we got a mic. Oh, we don't need this. You can turn it off for me.
All right, mic's on.
Good evening. Welcome to Drive the South, sponsored by the Woodturners Foundation. I'm happy to welcome everybody here tonight for the Battle of the Bowls. I think we all know these gentlemen, some of us better than others. I think Stuart called me more times in the last 2 weeks about setting this up. My family's called me in the last 2 years. In fact, I don't think I know it has. Whereas, you know, Mike, the Mellow Californian, everything I talked to him about it today at breakfast on was like, whatever.
I'm just here.
So we have the hypermanic Brit and the laid back Californian.
Thank you. Hi, well, I'd like to thank SWAT and my team for putting this together. It's a little bit of a trick to move everything from our booth to here, and then we got to move it back tonight. But we came together. We've never done it where we had 2 lathes with this setup, so getting everything, we just timed it just right. But we got a lot of support from SWAT and the feathers and everything here on the spot, which was great. So I'm ready to go. Mike went for Mexican, so hopefully he's going to be okay.
Yeah, just don't get too close. Yeah. Give you a little history on this. I think Stuart and I did this back in Pasadena.
That was the first time. Yeah.
That's when we first did it, like for real. And that, of course, Stuart was living with me at the time because he lives with a lot of people a lot of times. And anyway, we filmed it and we actually made a video. And what was the name? Oh, 2 ways to make a bowl.
2 ways to make a bowl.
And that, that's not even in print. It was probably in VHS, I would think.
No, it was a DVD, but the problem was we weren't really good at recording in those days, and our cameramen weren't particularly good, and we weren't wearing lava mics. Right now, we're wearing 3 mics. So one for Cindy Drosda, who's streaming this live. We're wearing one so we can record it and edit it afterwards, and then we're wearing one that you're hearing right now. So I've never worn 3 mics before.
Why are we recording it anyway? You got some aspirations to make
I'm going to
money?
put it on YouTube.
Oh, there you go.
When you blow through the side of the bowl, you get 1 million views.
So far, I haven't had any accidents, and so the numbers are piling up over here. How many bowls have you thrown in demos?
Oh, probably 3.
Okay. 0. And you don't want to blow up a bowl between us two, because we're going to let you know about it for the rest of your life. And,
Yeah.
and if you know what the camaraderie between all these wood turners that do all these demos and things, we're pretty hard on each other.
And if you blow up the bowl, take all the pieces, because somebody's going to turn up 6 years later saying, I got a piece of that bowl you blew up. And so, yeah, we don't leave any evidence behind, because then, you know, it never happened.
We don't have... There's a fragment of something going around in the wood turning world, and it says 16 stitches. You definitely don't want that. That was a Richard Raffin.
Yeah. Weren't you there for that?
I was there for that. I watched the whole thing. Richard's one of the finest people and wood turners in the world, and he had this accident on the lathe, and I was there for it. I was his assistant in the class, and he'd taken a skew over a little 3x3 blank. And he didn't have the tailstock up, and the thing after the whole, like, this community watched him make this beautiful bowl, and they clapped, and these burning wood turners that were watching, and they gave him a standing ovation. He was just patting himself like this, and then a minute later, he was on the ground with his blood shooting out of his head,
There was a night where we were demonstrating together, something similar to this, but we weren't racing on balls or anything. And we had a partition wall between us and Richard Raffin, and we had a bet on as to how long it would be before Richard Raffin had the piece of wood hit the partition wall. And I was betting at 6 minutes, Mike was betting at 9 minutes, and it hit at 7, so I won the $20. And that is the truth. It actually, we knew he was going to hit the wall with a piece of wood.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
we could tell you some old stories. We will tonight. And how I met Stuart was through his father. They look the same, just the hair color is different. I go to Ripon, which is in northern England, to do a symposium, and Stuart picks me up in Liverpool with my wife. And it's the first time I've ever been in a car that left the ground, all 4 wheels, twice in the drive. And that's how he drives.
So we were going down the highway at about 95, 100, and he's like, you got to slow down a bit. So we slowed down and 6 cop cars passed us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm like, see, we're going way too slow.
We get to his father's house, and we're doing the symposium the next day, and I'm just like sweating and shaking. And I said, Alan, don't ever let me drive with your son again. He goes, oh, my son's such a maniac. He's horrible. He's maniac. Alan gets to the car the next morning. Same driver, different color hair.
All right. So we're going to do two different ways to make a bowl. We make the inside the same. Mike uses my technique on the inside, 40-40, bottom bowl out. But on the outside, he has a completely different slant. And we've taught a class recently where we taught together. We had 10 students, and they learned both in the same class at the same time. Hopefully it wasn't too confusing for them, but there are times when each has advantages. So, and I'm remembering, Mike is at a slight disadvantage tonight because he's working on a right-handed lathe and he is left-handed. So for those of you who don't know, when Mike's doing the outside of the bowl, he is turning left-handed. I've had many students where they come into class and they turn like Mike. That says, I thought you said you're right-handed. I am. He says, well, no, turn like Mike Mahoney. Mike Mahoney's left-handed. No. Maybe you turn it like that for 3 years, not knowing.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, my way is more for productive. His way is for finesse. If you're familiar with his culture, where he comes from, is very traditional. Like I always mention this. I'm at the dinner table with his family at night. His dad's right here, and the potatoes are here. And his dad says, "Pass the potato." And what? Yeah. And I pass it over, and Dad goes, "Son, it has to go clockwise first." And now you see the problem inherited in the system.
Well, we'll see when you've got all that torn grain to fix. You fix it nicely.
Right. So anyway, when we're done with our bowls,
Yep.
and if we get done, we'll see. We haven't discussed shapes. Usually my shapes are a little more intricate than
We have
his.
not
Much
prepped this
thinner.
at all. We are just winging it 100%. So we have no idea. So we're not, when we race flat out, it's only like 15 minutes to make a bowl. If you guys just don't want to see us flat out, you want to see some camaraderie, we'll stop, we'll talk about what we're doing, because normally we don't cover that. So we'll draw on the whiteboard a little bit. We have completely different grinds on the outside. So the way we do the outside is radically different. I believe Mike is going to do some coring on the inside. Yeah, coring is the way to go if you want to save the bowl. I'm just going to turn it into chips just to show you how to get the middle out. We use, like I said, very similar technique on the inside. We just have a little different way of gripping the tool, but it's the same gouges. And then Mike on the outside has a radically different grind to me. I don't use different gouges on the outside to the inside. I'm using the same, both sides.
Yep, you're using 3 gouges. I'm using 3 gouges.
I'm using 2. I've just got one bigger one, one smaller one.
All right, very
But they're the same grind. So I use 2 of the same grind, one big, one small, and then I use a bottom bowl gouge.
Yeah, my gouges are much more variable. They're long sweeps back for shear scraping.
And he can actually shape the bowl faster than I can. With my style, I'm doing the same type of cut the whole time. Mike can shape it faster, but he has to do then a different technique to repair, because the shaping that fast causes damage to the surface. And then he has a technique of fixing it. And it's very reliable and very productive for certain applications. I don't use that technique, but it was great to see it when we did a class recently as to, you know, how to fix the pretty bad tone grain from the polka. It's pretty bad, but he fixes it, so it's great.
Even when the roof is right in front of his face, he can't admit it.
All right, so let's get going. I'm going to start off with, I'm going to just use a 5/8 gouge. It's taking it down the round.
Technique.
I'll come back to sharpening because it's not dull yet, so let's get a little bit dull.
Chucking technique.
Oh, chucking technique. Yeah, okay, so we have 2 very different schools of thought. Mike isn't wrong in using a screw chuck. It's great. The problem with the screw chuck is I've traveled the country teaching more than anybody else ever in the USA. So every time I get to a club, I know there's going to be a drive center. a live center, and some form of chuck that expands and contracts. Now, I could have 10 students, I could have 5 students, but there is no guarantee we'll have a screw chuck. So if I only use a screw chuck, I could get there. So, well, I didn't bring a screw chuck. So I developed a way of putting it onto a chuck so that I can then get rid of the tailstock. Mike does not get rid of the tailstock. I need the tailstock out the way to push it around.
So what you don't see, Stuart already has put this recess in. So that's a step he's not showing you.
But when I make a jam chuck, I will do it. Yeah. And Mike has already drilled a hole.
I
That's
drilled
a step
a hole.
you have not seen.
Very
So
easy.
where's his electric drill? I mean, he could be drilling and I would have it ready. It's the same thing. But now, one of the main things is we have very different ways of rounding it. And I work a little bit more in, I believe, in more ergonomics. I use the bevel all the time when I'm rounding because I don't want any harmonics back to my body. So my technique here requires a little bit more finesse to control the tool because I'm cutting a lot more open space. Mike's going to start shaping almost immediately. I'm going to go for balance on the face, on the outside of the face and knock off the corner. Then I start my curve cut. Mike's going to start his shaping immediately, straight in with no bevel support. So I'm using bevel support. Now I'm not rubbing the bevel. You know this terminology, rub the bevel? It came from this book written in 1958 and it's BS. We don't rub the bevel. Nobody that's good rubs the bevel. We just contact the surface with the bevel. We never put the bevel on the surface with any kind of, other than a minuscule amount of pressure. So the tool is gliding on the surface. If you ride the surface, it will beat you up. Mike's not going to use the bevel, so he doesn't have that problem because he's not using it at all. He's floating over the surface with a big, aggressive polka, which is very fast. But I'm using a different technique. So you'll see that, and we'll get going.
Let's go.
So I've set my tool rest at a distance, clearing the bowl, but not too close. I'm keeping the tailstock there just for added security because I teach all the time, and I've had it where people are used to left-hand chucks versus right-hand chucks. The next thing you know, they've wound the chuck in the wrong way, and they're grabbing on the scrap in the middle instead of expanding into the recess. So just for paranoia, I keep it here all the time because I teach 90% of the time for my living. So I'm going to put this down, and then you're going to shape it. So you'll see he's shaping quicker than me, and I'm going to just take mine down the round. So. So I'm doing a peel cut here now, and I'm just getting rid of unbalance on this surface. And then I'm going to get rid of my third imbalance on the corner. I'm overpowering my lathe, so.
Yeah, mine's not giving me a lot of torque.
Are you on the high speed or low speed pulley?
Low speed.
Low speed. No, I'm on a high speed pulley. So Mike's already done his shaping. I'm now going to go for a different kind of cut. So I was just getting mine ready. Now I push from the rear, so you can see why the tailstock would be in the way. Yep. So this just needs resetting because we're on a 2 horsepower lathe, we're on long extensions, so we're losing a little bit of voltage drop. So
Yeah,
I'm pushing around. Now, the cut I'm doing
power.
here, this is one of the hardest cuts to learn initially in woodturning. Although it looks easy, the control with my left hand, which is subtle, is allowing me to slide the bevel on the surface. Now I'm getting no torn grain. And the volume I can take is depending on horsepower. So and the size of the gouge. But as you can see, I don't end up with any torn grain with push cut. Here on the flat surface, yes, because I'm using the gouge as a peel cut just to get that down. I finish that with a different technique later. I'm ready to put close to my finish cut on this. Now I did cut through some bark. That means my gouge is probably not fully sharpened. The problem with learning this particular cut, and I don't know if you're going to talk about the problems I have with Mike's style, is where this cut gets difficult is if you over rub the bevel, you end up with this harmonic. So let me over rub the bevel. So I'm just going to push on it, and here it's starting to bounce. That's rubbing the bevel. You can't do the cut by rubbing the bevel because you've got end grain, side grain, end grain, side grain. So you induce a harmonic, and it just gets worse. So what I'm looking to do here is to still have bevel contact. I'm not pulling it round off the bevel, but I need the bevel contact to be minuscule, and then I'm just gliding on the bevel here, and then I'm forming the shape in a single cut. So I'm not doing several cuts and joining them together. I can take any volume I want as long as I have enough horsepower. But the speed of the cut here on the last cut is really critical. And this would be the good time to give the gouge a sharpen at this stage if I want to get the best finish possible. This is probably not going to be my finished cut right now because we are going to jam chuck them. And when we jam chuck them, we have the option of returning the outside. We both use jam chucking a lot, but in production, we would use vacuum chucking. But for the bowls today, we don't have a vacuum chuck.
Okay, I'm ready. I'll go. I've got a kind of a rough shape. I'm probably not as enclosed as I'd like to be, just to make it a little harder. And then you see this band that I have up here on top. That's just going to be a bead. And that's just an example as to why Stuart's cut doesn't always work. If you want a little shape on your bowl, you've got to learn how to shear scrape. So now I'm basically going to.
He loves this shear scraping.
I basically got the gouge at 45 degrees to the wood, just a sharp edge against the surface. I could probably pick up my RPMs. I'm just going to.
One thing I did find out in the class when he's using this technique, it dulls the gouge really quick, so you have to be prepared to sharpen it. Because you're shear scraping, it's got no bevel support on that edge, so you can't do it for several bowls. You got to sharpen each time you use it. So that's one thing I did learn from his class when using it. It's not a gouge you keep using and using. You have to resharpen.
I thought it was because the metal of my gouge was no good.
I didn't want to say that. He uses a different metal. I use a much higher vanadium tool content than Mike does. So he uses M42 and I use 15V. Although right now, not to give myself any advantages, I'm used to using M4, not M42, M4. I don't want to take advantage of using 15V. I can do 2 bowls without sharpening, but I can't with M4, M2. So I do want to resharpen this at some stage and cover that. We're not going to cover sharpening in any too much detail because that's going to put you to sleep, for sure.
So I'm going to push cut up to this band. My band is awfully large. I'm just going to push cut right up to the top edge, to the lower edge.
Push cut?
Well, I can right here, because my shear scrape can't quite get in there.
I thought shear scrape was the bee's knees. I've never seen my push cut.
I'm getting too much vibration.
When you need some help, give me a shout. I'll be there. All right, I'm going to do a finish cut right around here. So I'm going to do my bowl a little bit more enclosed. I had to remove quite a bit of bark, so I'm going to lose a little bit of depth on this, or diameter, to get myself a little bit more depth. So I'm going to do this in a single cut. So instead of me putting a bead on, I'm going to go for a slightly more enclosed bowl, and I don't mind, to get a better shape, losing some diameter. Now, I am running at that slightly higher speed here. That's a fact. Let's go, I'm going to go down a pulley like Mike has. I prefer the slightly higher speed. That means if I'm going the slower speed, I'll cut a little slower to compensate, but I want to take enough volume and not stall a lathe. Like I said, we're on 2 horsepower lathes, we're on long extensions, and so it's really easy to overstress the lathe. My technique is to put a little bit more load on the motor because I'm slicing and peeling at the same time. Mike is either peeling or slicing, except for push cut. When he's push cutting, he's doing both, but he's only removing modest amounts. So I'm going to run this at the highest speed on the low pulley, which is 1250. I'm going to stand at the end of my cut and go for this in 1 cut. So, that gouge is not sharp. So, I'm going to give it a quick sharpen. So, my sharpening is, we both use a 40-degree platform. I'm going to sharpen one side to the nose, the other side to the nose, take the heel off, and good. Neither of us know how to use a jig. We have never used a jig before, Mike? No, we don't know how to. So if you ask us how to use a jig, we can't help you. So freehand sharpening is super fast, super advantageous after practice. It's not easy, but remember before the 1990s, there was only freehand sharpening. So right here, I'm going to go for my finish cut. So So for my finish cut, I'm just going to cut a little bit slower. Now I'm going to swing a little bit earlier this time to create a little bit more enclosed ball. All my weight is on my right leg right now. And as I get back, notice the handle is not touching my body. I don't want the handle to touch my body for this cut. Because if it touches my body, it's going to not allow me to get the curvature I want. I'll end up going a little bit straight. I'm losing some diameter here to make the ball slightly enclosed. And even though I'm taking a fairly large cut here, it isn't tearing the grain. So I've got here, this is the best way to cut the wood. There is no way that's going to give you a better finish. Now, if you've got tool marks and what have you, you can shear scrape, you can negative rake scrape, but here we don't have any tool marks that I'm worried about. I still want it slightly more enclosed, so I'm going to roll it a little bit more. So from here, rather than cut the whole thing, I still want slightly more enclosed. So I'm going to start low and roll the gouge in, more like a spindle turning technique, and roll it in to create a slightly more enclosed shape. I definitely wanted to have more of a vertical exit like this. So I forfeited a little bit of diameter to get a slightly better shape. I've left excess material on the bottom. Mike doesn't. He puts his OG in and his tendon on now. I do the OG after. So I'm just going to use the same gouge. So I've not changed tool. And I'm going to put a tendon on here. And I'm ready to reverse this. So push cut, it isn't as fast as shaping, but it's much faster for finishing because it's just rapid. It's the same cut to shape as it is to finish.
Yeah, I think I'm done shear scraping here. Just make sure the grain's fairly decent. I think I can get right up into there. Got a little bump there. I'm good.
Little tongue grain here.
What?
Oh
God, there is tongue grain there.
We'll fix that later.
No.
It's called 80 grit. I've never owned 80 grit. I've never even seen. No, that's not true. So, to tell you a little story while Mike's concentrating there. Years ago, I went to see this very famous old-time turner he's no longer alive, but I went to see him in England at a symposium, and I thought, I'm going to sneak in, because I said to my dad, this guy's making 3-foot diameter bowls. Kids can stand in them. And he says he's selling them for a fortune. My dad says, you think he's any good? I says, he must be, 3-foot diameter bowl. So I go, and I'm on the front row, and nobody's in the demo room, so I thought, I'm going to see what he's got for tools. So I go up, and I'm looking, God, he must have such a special gouge, he's hidden it. It's not even here. I said, but these are metal spinning tools. You know what metal spinning is? It's got this big rounded end and big pins in this 6-foot-long handle. And I think, okay, I have no idea what's going to happen. He comes in, and he puts his pins in a tool rest, and he fulcrums some off, and he rips off a chunk of the bowl. And it's a big piece. And he moves a pin, he rips off another chunk. He moves a pin, he rips off another chunk, and I'm looking, I'm like, man, that's rougher than Mahoney can make it. So I'm thinking, okay, he's going to pull out of his pocket this gouge, and he's going to do one finish cut. So he goes in his bag, and I'm excited, thinking, man, he must have a beautiful big gouge. He pulls out a 10-inch diameter, 16 grit sander. I had never seen 16 grit. It was Mount Everest and K2 together on the sanding pad. And then off he went. Now we couldn't see anything. It was a mushroom cloud of dust. And about 20 minutes later, as the dust settles, he's power sanded it with 16 grit. Then he went to 24 grit, then he went to 36 grit, then he went to 60 grit, and then he went to Mike's grit, 80 grit. So he's only 5 grits in, and he's caught up with Mike. Okay, so I'm going to change my chuck around. As you can see, I'm turning without the tailstock. Mike had the advantage before of being able to turn with the tailstock initially. It wasn't in his way. But then he also had the advantage of being able to finish after he reversed it. So I have to be a little bit more precise with my chucking, because if it's running slightly out of true, I can't fix it with push cut, because I can't push from the chuck uphill to fix it. I can only cut the other direction, but I can fix it on a jam chuck.
Okay, I'm going to basically prep this bowl to take a couple bowls out of the interior here, just so we have something. You'll see how I do that. I'm going to face off the front, just with a scrape.
So like I said, I got to make sure my chuck is running through, because right now, if there's a wood chip in there, because I didn't bother to clean it, or I make sure the face is clean, because I'm now using something I made on center with something on center. So if I got a little bit of untrue running, you can fix it with a pull cut, I can't. So I'm just being more careful to make sure my chuck is running through. Now, ideally here, we can just push it in here, but if you've got the ability to bring up a tailstock and put it in that original hole, which only takes a few seconds, it is much better to to make sure I've got it running true. So that's what I'm going to do to make sure it's running true. That's not so easy to learn because he's got a screw hole, not a drive center mark from before.
Okay, I marked out the 2 bowls that I'm going to take out of the inside of this. I'm basically hollowing out the interior of the smallest bowl. And so notice I've left these pretty thick. These will be rough turned and returned for the future, unlike the bowl that we're making here tonight. So I'm going to set up my coring tool. I'm going to use 1 blade. Here's the turret. There's a little knot in there. You gave me a bowl with a knot in it.
I gave you 4 bowls to
And
choose
some
from.
torn
Everyone
grain.
had a knot in it. There was no way of getting around it because I provided the wood. And the lathe, and the lights, and the crew.
And the phone call, and the twisting of the arm to get me to come.
That's not true. He was already here. He says, Stu, can you speak to SWAT and get us to demonstrate together? I says, really? You can't make that call? He says,
Yeah.
you know Pam. I says, I know Pam. I says, I can make that call. And Pam says, don't be ridiculous. No, of course you both can't demonstrate. He says, but maybe I can make it happen. And she did. She pulled it off. So we appreciate that Pam did that for us. Thank you. Because this was not scheduled. This was not scheduled.
All right, my cutter here has to run at dead center. I'm a little rusty here. That'll work. Okay.
Were you coring today? You were coring today?
I haven't cored, no. I haven't cored in weeks, months maybe. Can I take this off, do you know?
Yeah, but there's a little secret.
Actually,
Can I
just
show you
leave
what it is?
Is there a bench dog in there? Yeah, no, leave it there. I can live with that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's good.
Because there's a little bolt here that you have to take out.
Oh, that's good.
It's to save people dropping the tailstock. So Mike, Mike on his big, he's got a VL 300 at home. He has the most bent tailstock in the world because he pushes his tailstock off, and sometimes it goes off the end. And it's gone off the end more than once. And Mike is famous for being the only person ever to bend the shaft of a big mark lathe using the coring system. He bent the whole shaft.
Funny how I forget about those things. I don't recall it ever happening.
He bent the shaft. But here's the thing, this system he's using here is the most flexible, but it's the hardest to learn. It is all free will. There's no pre-predicted direction is going in here. So you can have this magic where you core out a small ball and lose the big balls. So when you get this one wrong,
I'm basically throwing a parting tool through side grain timbers, and it's a very difficult process. But basically, I'm making sure the tool only cuts from the face and doesn't rub on the side. I'm rubbing a little bit now. You'll see a little steam develop. And the way to fix that is just open up the kerf. Just get the tips out. Again, Stuart got me silver maple, which he knows I'm allergic to, and it doesn't core well.
I said, is silver maple okay? He says, I like silver maple. That's what he said. I said, do you want honey loaf? He says, no, I don't like it. I said, you want ash? He says, no, ash doesn't core. So we don't have that many trees in Colorado, where everything's a mile high. So silver maple grows there. It's not my favorite wood, but it certainly makes big chips. If we're using honey locust, we don't get these kind of chips. I'm just waiting for Mike. Mike can usually core really fast.
Yeah, if this is honey locust, it'll be a lot quicker.
I'm not sure what's happening tonight.
It's a little harder, but these chips come out as ribbons.
Is it that half-inch knot that's killing you, Mike?
Say again?
The half-inch knot, is it what's giving you the hard time?
No, it's just the ribbons come out. That one's out right now, so I'm just going to leave that and let's go to the next one. We'll break all that.
Right, so I'm going to get a little bit started on the inside of this. Now what we're looking to do here is, I'm just going to hog out the middle. Now, is it ideal? No, you're better off getting a bowl out, but you still got to remember how to hog a bowl out if you need to. So now, because I'm going to use the wing of the gouge, pointy gouges with wings back are not good at finishing side grain. I'm going to use it just to get the side grain level, but not my finished cut. I'll use a bottom bowl gouge for that. I'm going to use this gouge here where I'm leaning sideways and getting rid of part of the middle. So I'm just getting this. So this is where you get the biggest chips, going sideways. You don't the Mahoney Slayer. I don't usually get it out, but tonight I thought, with Mahoney being here, it's named after him. I thought I would just, dig it out the woodwork.
I get a royalty?
What's that?
I get a royalty?
Yeah, you get a royalty. They're using your name, the Mahoney Slayer. So it's taking a big cut. Now the downside with the Mahoney Slayer is I'm only working on a 3 horsepower lathe. This is 2 horsepower on an extension. So as I get further out, if I keep taking the same volume of cut, I'll stall the lathe, because that's a pretty big cut. How do you see these shavings? So really good looking shavings. Let's check them out. I'd love to go a little faster, because then I could share the shavings with everybody, but I'm only doing 1200 RPM, so I have limitations to how far I can throw the tips without stalling the bowl. Now the nice thing about the cut I just did there, that's a pretty big chip, but I still don't have torn grain, because it's a dual action cut. That means I'm slicing with the nose, peeling with the wing, and I don't have torn grain there at all. It gives a really nice finish. And this is a 15V we're talking about. So 15V is a really great steel. It's the longest edge steel we've got.
It's 10 grain.
10 grain?
It'll be done in a second. It'll be done in a second.
I'm gonna get rid of a little bit more wood while we're at it. Okay.
So we got 2 to show for that. What do you got, 2?
I got a lot of good, beautiful ships. Beautiful.
That was not easy.
You're going to steal these chips and move them over to there and pretend they're yours, aren't you?
I'll get some.
Get some? All right. Okay, so I'm ready for a bottom bowl gouge. If I was going to leave this as a quarter, a twice-turned bowl. So I would use the bottom bowl gouge here. So let's just talk about that. The bottom bowl gouge is, the 40-40 does not like going across the bottom. As it's going in, the wing is facing the side grain. As we go around the corner, the wing is facing the end grain. So as you go around the corner, if you keep going with this, you're just running into pure end grain. And then also the problem is, I'll hit the rim of the bowl because the nose of this and the wings all the way around are 40 degrees. 40 degrees doesn't make it to the middle on a deep bowl. So that's when we change to a bottom bowl gouge. A bottom bowl gouge is a mini version of a roughing. So this is a spindle roughing gouge. This is what we use for side grain and spindle turning, a spindle roughing gouge. It is simply a mini version of it. That's all it is, a mini version. It's very effective. It's much nicer than using a conventional scraper, but there is a little bit of a technique to it, and a lot of people struggle with it. And the reason they struggle with it is when you're using a regular 40-40 or any gouge you're push cutting, look where the gouge gets to when I have to stop cutting the rim. I'm not very far from the lathe, but look where I'll end up if I use the 40-40. I must step back to here. If I don't, I can't get the gouge to the middle unless I push it. If you push it with your palm, you're off the bevel. We want to be sliding and pushing with the rear. So for this cut here, we want to be way back here to get rid of that middle. So that's how this gouge works, here like this. It works by not using my left, just a weight, and I'm just using it across the bottom like this. So it doesn't have access to the end grain. That's how this gouge works.
And 2, why aren't you using a curved tool rest?
Why are they using a what?
A curved tool rest.
Yeah, we both don't use curved tool rests. The problem I find with
explain
curved...
it, because
Yeah.
that's why I asked the question.
The reason I don't like a curved tool rest is generally curved tool rests, when they're curved, by the time I get to the middle, I'm hitting the other side of the rest because your gouge is downhill. So by the time you come around, you hit it before you complete the cut. Secondly, we don't move the tool rest in very far, either of us do. If you move it in a long way, you might think, well, I'll be closer. You're not closer. By the time you get to the middle, you're in the same place on the outside.
Your fulcrum is still there. You haven't dragged that fulcrum down the rest. It
Yeah.
just doesn't work that way if you're holding onto the bevel.
And then the other problem is now my tool rest and tool are in the same pattern it wants to slide off. So we tilt it in a little bit to help on the initial cut, but the gouge is still going to finish in the same place outside the bowl. Now, Mike doesn't cut slightly above center, he cuts on center. I don't know why, he loves it, but
Because I'm not a showman.
I like to go above center because then I get more side grade. I get a nice appeal and finishing in there. Is it dark in there? I can't see the camera. Does it need a little bit more light?
Yours is not nearly as dark as mine.
I can put
okay.
light inside. Does that help? Or does that make it worse? Worse? Okay. We don't know because we can't see the screens. Normally I have the screens behind it, but we couldn't make that work for tonight because we were covering everything up. So this is the bottom bowl gouge. If you're learning to use this gouge, it's all about the swing. I'm only going to move 3 inches at the front, but look how far my handle swings. I'm picking up the cut there, and look, it's swinging several feet at the back to get to the middle. I stay above center, because then I'm not hitting directly into the end grain, so I'm slightly above center onto the side grain. So that's a roughed out bowl. Now we're going to decide if Mike's got his thin already from nesting, but I presume you have thicker walls here, correct? So
Oh yeah, so I've got 1/8 of an inch showing there, but right behind that is an inch.
So you make yours thin, and I'll make mine thin, because I'll make mine thin slightly different way. It's going to be the same technique, but a slightly different process.
So I'll set the thickness, and you're going to match it?
Sure.
Okay.
Now is where it goes really thin.
All right, so
Because I got to match it.
same technique. My tool might be a little smaller than yours.
It is a smaller gouge for this, but it wouldn't matter. The only thing with a smaller gouge, you're going to get harmonics earlier, that's all.
Yeah. So I'm basically going to cut 1/3 to half all the way down, hopefully in the same thickness. I may have to come back up and work a little bit. Very short bevel here, kind of a pointy tool. And you want that tool to be more of a point than a long arc, especially on this top entry cut, because when you come in to make that cut, if your tool is not horizontal, the point will never make contact. If you hold the tool down at any angle, you're going to hit below the point, and guess what? You're going to cut a thread right off the edge. Everybody knows that experience. So that's how you cure that. Having said that, it doesn't make it any easier. So I'm going to take the tool in horizontally. I've got my hand over the top of my tool here because I don't want it to go to the left here. And I will try to set, it tried to skip on me. There we go.
Mike's going to do the little dance with his gouge. You watch it.
So I'm going to go a little thinner there. And actually, let me remove a little bit of wood.
I'd love to give him a longer handle. So right now he's got leverage, losing leverage. You want the long handle, folks. In this book, that he's turning a bowl in 1958 with a 9-inch handle. He's gone past 9-inch handles. 24, 36. Longer handle. You get a lot. You don't have to put anywhere much use much effort.
Don't worry. I was just hitting end grain.
I almost lost a heartbeat.
So,
how did I know that was coming? Bigger gouge, less vibration. And this thing's like a canary.
every time I work with Stuart, he tells me I've been doing it wrong for 35 years.
That's okay. Look, listen. Dead.
All right.
Dead.
So I've got the thickness I want right there. So
I'm repeating myself.
it's a 1/16 of an inch all the way down to where I'm at.
This is a little BS I'm smelling right now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an 8. Can I see?
A what?
It's an 8, guys. Double the thickness. All right, let's just
Oh
do
God,
it.
that's not an 8.
I'm not going to do an 8 like that because I don't have that much time available for the rest of my life. So I'm just going to do it in one go. So what I do, instead of doing it in little bits, like I used to do it like that back in the day, because that's how my dad did it. But I'm like, no. So I'm just going to get rid of a load of the bowl now. You can keep those. Get rid of off of that. Now I am going to take one slight advantage here right now. I am going to take my speed up a little bit because I'm going to do it in one pass.
Yeah, my tool handle's a little short there. Seeing that I had to fly all the tools out, I shipped these out a couple weeks ahead of time. I could have used a little longer tool. No, I'm just going to put my rest in there a little closer.
I can make it shorter, make you feel at home. Short enough?
No, that's too big for me.
All right.
It can get really,
Let me know
don't
when
take
you-
much into that.
Right, so here we go. I'm gonna go for my finish cut. Somebody forgot about this speed now.
I love to hear that.
I had a little bit of excitement there. Sorry, folks. I was trying to dry the bowl out. I got soaked as I walked past it. All right, here we go. Don't turn it that fast. All right. So I forgot to change the speed up, but I was on maximum speed before. Now I'm not. So, anyway, let's just make sure, because I'm going to be quite aggressive with my cut. So I'm going to make sure I'm super tight. Now remember, the wood compresses over several minutes. So take that into consideration if you're talking, chatting, go for lunch break. So I'm going to split this. I'm going to do this in one pass. Let me just check my thickness because I've got to match it. Whew, that is thin. Alex.
No comment, it must be okay.
All right, we'll get it. I got to concentrate now. So I'm going to do it slightly different. I might make mine thin from the outside. So thin from the outside is another way of doing it. That's where you jam chuck it. It doesn't work with vacuum chucking. It doesn't work with cold jaws, but you can make it thin from the outside. I don't need quite this much leverage because my gouge is already 14 inches long, so I'm good. So I'm going to go in here and cut this off here.
Oh, it's thin. I can see your thumbprint in there. Ooh. Oh yeah, you're a little thinner right here than you are here, like 2 times.
I love the BS.
Sucks.
No, it's beautiful.
Sucks to be you.
Oh, we got plenty of room. We'll just recut it. Now remember, I'm going to turn mine from the outside again. So that's how I make thin bowls, is from the outside in. I just wanted to make you feel comfortable there. That I might blow it up, because if I blow it up, this would be the first time where we turn together and somebody's blown it up. But Mike's not finished yet either.
I'm not finished yet. That's right.
finished
It's
yet.
been a
Right.
while. I'm going to go with my bottom feeder, even though I've got a lot of wood in there. It's the only
Bottom
tool
bowl gouge, not a
I've
bottom
got.
feeder. Bottom bowl gouge.
I call it a bottom feeder.
My gouge, I'm not going to call his Mahoney shear scraper the Batty shear scraper. No. Batty bottom bowl gouge. Now, he's got a different grip. He's doing the boogie with a short grip. I'm going to do the leverage.
You're going to do the correct.
I'll do the leverage. Leverage shot. So lots of leverage. So little boogie with it. Lots of leverage. I'm glad I invented this technique. Great. He's learning though, he's getting better. He's getting better, he's almost finished. I love how you shake that gouge, Mike. But I'm not using leverage, I'm using leverage. I'm just like, I'm letting the gouge do it. Right, there we go. Take it a bit more off, Mike. I take a bit more.
What's that?
Just messing about.
I'm going to check my depth.
No measuring.
Oh, no measuring? Okay.
No measuring. That's against the rules when we're demoing together. No measuring tools. No measuring tools.
That's all right. I just stopped.
He knows
that.
that. He's just seeing if he can get away with it. I'm calling him on it. I am not measuring my gouge. I did not bring this ruler to measure my bowl. That would be illegal.
It'd be nice.
Instant forfeit. I still want it thinner. I'm going to keep going. I'm just waiting for Mike to catch up, so I just keep making it thinner. I'll make it thinner from the outside too. So here I'm not using any, I'm not gripping the tool very much. I'm gliding on the bevel, staying above center, not on center. Now slowing down a little, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. Don't snap the last bit off. I'm gonna jam chuck mine. Oh, I forgot to clean up the face, didn't I? Leaving that a bit late. Ooh, I messed up. That's gonna be tough. I forgot to clean up the face, so let's see if we can do it. This is gonna be rough. I forgot to clean up the face. Got a bit of a chip in it. Ooh, see if we get away with it. Kind of messed up here. I blow it up, Mike.
That'll be good. We got it on film.
Yeah, I'll do the job.
So I'm ready to jam chuck this. You got a good curve in there. Seems about the same thickness.
Oh, he's got a light spot too.
And I'll remove this back here. Actually, this kind of suits itself to have a base on it, but since it's green,
Are we making round bottom or based?
round bottom.
Round bottom? There we go. Fixed it. So I was supporting it because it's really flexible. So I was just supporting it because I just forgot to go back in with my bottom bowl guard. There's a tiny bit still left. So I'm nice to it, super nice to it. This is kind of like a little high risk. I mean, you could sand it back to where you want it, but I'm not going to do that because I didn't bring any sandpaper for this, so we're not sanding it. So I'm being super nice. So this is where in wood turning, if you're nice to the wood, oh, too much.
All that.
Nice to it, you'll get away with it.
The more you talk, the better it gets, Stu.
Yeah, I know. I'll have a super sharp edge though. That's good enough. Okay. I know I've got a chuck key somewhere.
This will wear you out, just getting this on. Okay. We both jam chuck the same way. Mine usually don't blow up like his.
No, usually not.
I actually cut my jam on. You scrape yours.
I'll scrape mine in.
Yeah. And that should tell you something.
Yeah. I'm going to cut the outside of my bowl again. He's not. Because he'd have to push cut right-handed. And what is Mike? He's left-handed. See, when he did a push cut before, he was doing it left-handed. Remember? I'm right-handed. I do have the advantage as a right-handed lathe. You guys that are all left-handed know lathes are made for right-handed people, unfortunately. So it kind of like, it's a bit of an advantage if you're right-handed to turn on a right-handed lathe. So I do feel sorry for Mike. No, I don't. I just lied. So let's get our jam chuck going. Now, the most important thing about a jam chuck is location, location, location. You have to have location. If you don't have location, the piece is not going to stay where you want it to. I should do this for a living.
Did you get it? Did you get it?
Of course.
Perfect fit?
No. Close enough, though.
Yeah.
If I got a perfect fit, it would have just been unfair. So I didn't want to get a perfect fit. Now, this is silver maple, so it's kind of forgiving, but most woods, you have to be a little bit more cautious about your jam chuck. Because what I mean by that is, don't force it on. If you force it on, you are definitely going to have the potential of cracking it. And at that point, you've already put a lot of work into the cut. So I'm going to use a scraper, and I'm just going to take that down a little bit, because I want a straight section where I get my fit. So if it does rock on the jam chuck, on that straight section, it has to rock back a long way. So pretty close, but not quite where I want it, so it's still not tight enough. Now the jam chuck can be any block of wood. You might think, because I had somebody say to me the other day, don't you make a jam chuck for every bowl? No. We make a jam chuck fit hundreds of different bowls over the years. So you just get a jam chuck like this, and you go smaller, 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 but you're only making it go smaller by a tiny amount each time. You don't want to keep making it smaller by much. Ooh, too tight. So, now, Mike's not wrong that you could use a gouge. The problem with the gouge right now, I would end up taking off too much. I just want dust. Yeah, just a little bit of dust.
I wish me dad was here to see that.
Did you get it first time? Peter loved it.
It's good enough, but
Good enough.
I can make it better. Just
Oh, you
like
said round
would.
bottom?
Yeah, round bottom. Yeah.
Round bottom? Okay, go on. Now, the nice thing about round bottom bowls, they're kind of magical, because most people don't make round bottom bowls. Now, make sure when you make it round bottom, it is round bottom, no flats and no points, because it'll rock to one side. But round bottom bowls, no matter what is in it, it racks back to center every time. So that's super cool. And then you don't have to go to the trouble of making a base to the right proportions, et cetera, et cetera. So they're great. And think about old calabash bowls. True calabash bowls are round bottom. Not that they put them on a table, because calabashes used to be used in sand and dirt. That's the Hawaiian style bowl, but they were round bottom and they work really good. So I'm gonna.
Ooh, I don't like it.
What's that?
I don't like the sound of that.
It is thin, Mike. It is thin.
Why don't you turn down the RPMs a few hundred?
Oh no, we're good. You're gonna blow it up with style. Yeah. That way everybody can share the joy, because everybody will get a piece. But there's not a lot of spare wood here. Okay, so now I'm going to do a poke around. So a little high with my tourist, want to be right on center height. I'm pushing it round. So a little indentation there. And let's go the other way. So now here, I'm stressing the jam chuck when I do this because I'm going sideways. So slow cut, very slow. There's a high percentage of end grain in this cut because I'm pushing outwards. So do not rush it in this stage. It's not where you want to rush the cut. Very little pressure on the level. Slow, methodical cut. I've got to get below my recess. And that's why I'm quite thin. Now the nice thing about jam chuck, depending on how tight this is, I think it's quite tight, is we can take it on and off. I've got a little bit more to remove there, but I just want to check it.
Looks like a job for a shear scrape to me.
Shear scrape, what's that? If I owned a shear scraper, so I'm going to cut it with a gouge. Now the 40/40 doesn't like small volume. It's better with big volume, so my control has to be a little bit more methodical. There we go. Now, if I wouldn't shear scrape, if I was going to scrape this, I would use negative rake. So negative rake is, shear scraping is Mike's technique, negative rake is mine. But I always want to see where I'm at, and then see if I can afford one more cut.
I think you can, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can afford one more. We'll show you.
Some of us can hear that. But.
Yeah. So we need one more here, one more here. Let's do it. Want to catch up?
What's that?
Catch up?
Yeah. You're going to be okay. I'm going to basically use a shear scrape to completely pull this off. And it makes sense to do that because all the grain is running like this, and it gets longer as I go. So peeling at it, I'm going to peel at the surface. And I've got my tailstock up. This is a safety device. So I'm basically going to cut with a sharp edge. And I get a beautiful ribbon. I'll hold up one of these ribbons here. And that's from a shear scrape, just like a push cut, because I'm using decent technique on side grain wood.
Now, negative rake scraping was developed originally for ivory. Negative rake scrapers back in those days, they didn't put a burr on them because ivory is a solid material. It doesn't have holes. It isn't porous in the same way wood is. So when you're negative rake scraping with wood, you want to be using a chisel with a burr on it. So in my dad's era, everybody honed their chisels, plus the steel was just old carbon tool steel. This is an old Sorby gouge. This is 50 years old. This will not hold a burr long enough to be efficient if this was a skew chisel. This is a 10V skew chisel. So this holds a burr a lot longer, probably around 10 times longer than the old carbon tool steel. And so I can use the burr instead of shear scraping. I'm negative rake scraping. However, negative rake scraping is not scraping. It is a form of abrasion. It is a hard abrasive. So what I mean by that, I'm using an edge that has an abrasive burr on it, and I'm abrading the surface here. So what I'm able to do here is I can form my shape with a more comfortable angle, and obviously I'm not using a tailstock here, and I'm able to work my shape in and refine it. So here I'm using a high vanadium tool steel, and I can refine in my shape here. Now the one thing about mine is once the burr is gone, you have to stop using it and put a new burr on it. If you keep going, it'll lift the grain. And I'm going to do a small cut up here. Now one of the advantages I can take advantage of if I use a spindle gouge, the wings are back further and it gives a better slice cut. I don't have enough volume here to be able to do a slice and a peel cut. So if I use a little spindle gouge, I'll make sure it's sharp. I can finish the top of the bowl to get that even wall. So the spindle gouge is obviously being hit the floor at some point, so let's give it a quick touch up. So spindle gouges are a little bit more pointy.
I'm just tapping the bottom here to see how thick I am. I'm getting thinner. I'm just about done. I'll pull the tailstock away and then make it one last cut.
Okay, let's go for the first cut. I'm gonna get some light where I can see. So I think I'm a tiny bit thicker here. So I'm gonna be, now here, I want just a very small volume. And I'm gonna use the gouge for here because it's pure end grain and it is a fairly soft wood. So I'm not looking to take a lot of material on. So this is more of a slice cut than a slice and a peel. Now I cannot go all the way to the top. I will need to stop a little bit short of the top. Because if I don't stop a little bit short of the top, I'll break out the top. I don't want to break the top out. So we're coming around. So right there, as close as I can get, I'm stopping. And to make sure I have a fresh burr on here on the opposite side. A negative rake, scrape that in so I don't burst out the top. So I'm just going to take the burr on this and come in from the jam chuck. And just negative rake, scrape in away from the top towards the bottom. Now these are going to warp like a potato chip by tomorrow, of course.
Well, we'll see what they look like. I think they'll look nice. You got some bright spots?
No, it's flawless. But yours is a little bit, tiny bit thicker somewhere.
Mine's a little thicker on the bottom than yours.
Ooh,
That's not bad. It's beautiful.
the 80 grit. Oh, I love the bumps.
No,
Is that, oh, check that out. Check that out.
That's nice.
That's
really
nice. Yeah, that's probably because my piece didn't have a knot in it.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's okay, a little blood out here.
You salvaged something that should have been.
Yeah.
Little thick.
Oh, yeah. You want to get rid of it? I'll wait. Are we in a rush?
No.
We want to see him blow it up. We still got a few minutes. I'm gonna fix that dark bit on the bottom of mine. So
I might as well sharpen.
now I was going a little bit too long. I can see with the negative rake scraping here. I could cut it with a gouge. The gouge is a little bit less controllable in some regards because it's such a thin cut. But let's just do it with the gouge. Let's get it over and done with.
We'll try to blow these up yet.
That's better. Okay. Ooh, there's a little blip there I don't like. Let's get rid of that. Again, back with the gouge. Little blip. Now it's starting to go up a little bit, but we can still cut it with the gouge. This is using push cut. Mike's using shear scrape. I'm happy with that. Yeah. Not happy with it. One more. You know how it
One
goes.
more?
One more. You just gotta be one more cut.
We might as well just
I'm
go
just
for
wasting
broke.
time while I'm waiting for Mike. I mean, what else am I supposed to do? Can't sit there bored. One more cut. And again, I'm using a spindle gouge. It's got a little bit more finesse. A little bit more finesse. I can let my shear scrape it too, but then I don't want to start at 80 grit. Because I don't own any. How much 80 grit's your favorite? Yeah?
What's that?
We start with 80 grit.
No. 120.
60 grit?
120.
Little BS going on here. I'll see the 80 grit can work out. No, it might be true. You know why I know it might be true? Mike used to have people sand from him that worked for, that used to be BYU students. And then Mike told me one time, he says, you know, my sander left. So I said, what happened? He says, I had to get better. And he did, he got better.
That's a true story.
That's a true story, yeah. He said my son, I was like, now I've got to sand my own damn bowls. And I'm like, oh man, that must be rough. Because I know that all of you love sanding. Probably your favorite pastime.
No.
No? I have had students that say they like sanding. I don't like sanding, but I actually don't mind sharpening on a grinder.
Okay, I got mine much thinner. We're all done.
Uh-oh.
You still got a chance. Notice I'm cutting towards the center. Stuart's cutting away from the hold. It's a lot easier to have an accident the way Stuart's doing it.
True, the way I'm going in, you could go offline, but I was removing so that it wasn't super high risk. And by cutting towards the center, you're also pushing it into the jam chuck instead of away from the jam chuck.
This should lay flat nice.
Pam, would you like to admire my door while you're waiting? Because I'm going to fall asleep.
Hold it up.
That's better. That's better. Oh, no. Want to go back again?
Oh, look at it. Look where you can see like the color there. This is all dry wood.
Yeah.
It's the same thickness all the way through. I love the texture. So we're going to have the board up here to give us a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Nice, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was nice not to race, because when we're racing, it's a bit of a farce, really, because we just go flat out.
Before everybody leaves, or if you want to just mingle, get your hands on these just to kind of feel them. I think, Stu's interior, everything about it is pretty good. Mine's, I would never normally put a bead on a bowl like that, but it was just something that I wanted to mix up. And
So the thing that Mike uses with the shear cutting is when you're in trouble and you've got a spot you can't reach with push cut, that's when it's great for getting out. It's also very effective on certain woods, but you did say it's not that effective on ash, you said. It doesn't because most woods push cut.
So ash, a guy like me who made money out of wood turning, right, wouldn't use ash because it's hard to sell. Even though it was hard to turn, there was no loss.
In the UK, we have an olive ash, so the ash has a dark heart, so it's pretty. So ash sells better like that, not the white ash. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks for folks for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're very nice.
Thank you.
All right, folks, I want to thank y'all for joining us. I think we were the winners in this case. I also would like to invite anybody to come up and get a bucket full of souvenir chips. Like, if you don't go to bring them home, the receptacles all around you can deposit them.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Randy. Yes. Thank you, David. Thank you.
Stuart, thank you so much. Where's the bolts go?
They're right there. Bowls are over there. Thank you for enduring.
Thanks, Mike.
Hey, Cindy. Thank you.
And the people online will,
Oh, you got it online?
it's live streaming.
Sweet.
Well done.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah.
I've never seen you turn before.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's the first time I've been to SWAT. So.
Oh, nice.
You got written. Yeah.
As usual.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Before they wander off, she'll never see them again.
Yeah. Well, that was the end of that demo. Great stuff. It's Stormy Boudreau, the what's that?
I'm in your frame, probably. Oh, you can.
Yeah, she's framing up over there.
Oh, perfect.
This is the second camera. This the second camera. This tailstock too, but she's got it over there.
Yeah, that's great. Is that just the iPad? The iPad's
Yeah.
you want?
Yeah, she's got an iPad. I got an iPad. We're just live streaming from there. This is StreamYard is the app we use. So yeah, we both
Flash back and forth.
Yep. Yeah, we can do a solo layout to this one. Back to Cindy. We can do a side by side.
Oh, that's great. You should get that. I want to get in there now. I want to start just ripping things off people.
Could you get to Cindy and tell her that the mics are over here?
Mm-hmm.
She's filming and there's no sound probably. Thank you. So yeah, Cindy's got a camera on the other side where the mics are not. So we're finishing up here, and she's just kind of cruising around trying to get shots of everything. And she's making her way over here. And there we are. we're gonna look at each other. So it's too funny. Let me do this one. So there's Cindy. And she's got me on camera, so way up here. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Oh, and here's Shelly. And these are you turned one of them off, huh?
I don't know, one died. She handed it.
Oh, it died?
But I don't know if it died or not.
Well, anyway, thanks a lot, folks. This was great fun. And let's see, somebody had asked a question here, and I forget what it was. Where is it? Oh, were the Tollies here? Yes, there's like 3 or 4 generations of Tollies here. The Jimmy and Johnny, and then Johnny's son and his grandson, and oh, there's one right over there. Oh yeah, the whole family is here. Marcia's here. Yeah, good stuff. All right, well, we're going to sign off, folks. Thanks for being here. This was fun stuff.